So today I'm gonna share my strategy that I use with my riders to help them have more comfort and get relief in and out of the saddle. Relief from things like aches, tightness, and pains. So it all starts here with this big fun stress, trauma, and overuse. Anytime that you have stress, trauma, and overuse in your life, it's gonna create inflammation. See all this stuff? There's inflammation. Now, stress can be anything physical, chemical, emotional, anything that negatively affects your body, like heat or cold, extreme heat or cold, or let's say you had a rough day at work, or let's say you're tired, or you ate some bad food. All of those can create inflammation, as well as trauma. Trauma would be any sort of accident or something like childbirth, something that you go through that was very traumatic to your body and created inflammation as well. And then lastly, overuse. Overuse is gonna be something that you do most likely in your work or a sport. So like riding your horse, you're gonna be using the same muscles over and over and over again. At your job, if you're sitting down, you're gonna use the same muscles over and over and over again while neglecting others. And that can also cause inflammation. Now, inflammation can cause you to have weaker muscles, or it can weaken your muscles, almost like if your muscles were a light switch and it can go up or down. When you have inflammation, it actually acts as an interference from your brain's ability to communicate with your muscles. Because in order to move, our brains have to send signals to our muscles to contract, which move us. So anytime we have this inflammation acts as like an interference, and it can inhibit or interfere with our muscles' ability to work because our brain has a hard time sending that signal. Now, when we have weak muscles because our brain can't send that signal due to inflammation, it creates instability in our body, in our muscles, and in our joints. So what we need our muscles to do, whether we're on the horse or moving around, we need our muscles to keep our joints stable. So when we are moving and contracting our muscles, it's moving our joints and moving our bones. Our muscles' jobs are to keep those joints stable. So we need stability in order to keep us safe and allow us to do the things that we want to do. When we don't have that stability, our body's protective mechanism is to tighten up and protect us. So I want you to imagine that you're walking and you step on an ice rink. The first thing your body's gonna do when you step onto that ice is tighten up and try to protect you. You take little strides and you just kind of just walk super small steps because your body recognizes, hey, I don't have that stability under my feet I used to have in order to make me feel confident to take big strides. So when we don't have stability in our muscles and joints, our body is gonna be tight, our body's gonna create tightness in order to protect us. So this tightness is a protective mechanism. Now, when you have tightness in certain parts of your body and not others, it's gonna create compensations. So I may have some things tight while other things are working well, but I still need to function and do everything I need to do in my life and ride. So my body still needs to get from A to B as efficient as possible. And so our body's gonna compensate and still do the things that we need to do. Now, compensation is good in the short term because it allows us to do what we need to do. But in the long term, it can cause unwanted stress on muscles, causing them to be overused more. If we have to do a very strenuous activity because of these compensations, we might have another accident that occurs and creating more trauma. So compensation over the long term can cause unwanted wear and tear on the muscles and joints. So while it is a good thing in the short term, we don't want this compensation long term because it's gonna cause us this pain, this unwanted thing that we're trying to get away from. So if you're wanting to have more comfort when you ride, if you're wanting to have more ease and relief, you need to make sure our bodies aren't compensating, that we get rid of some tightness so we can bring stability back to the muscles and joints. And we do that through improving our muscles' ability to function and how well we can get that communication from our brain to our muscles. Because what we want is to improve our ability to contract so we can strengthen our muscles. Because we want to add stability and strength to our body so we can get rid of tightness and get rid of this compensation. So herein lies the issue. We need to make sure we can improve our muscles' ability to contract so we can strengthen those muscles so that we can bring stability back to the body so our body has no need to tighten up and protect us. And that way we have less and less compensations, so that way we have less and less pain. So this is the strategy that we use in order to bring relief and comfort and ease in the saddle. So if this is something that you're interested in, I've created a 14-day core connected challenge that you can find more information about by clicking the button below. It's going to give you an opportunity to go more in depth with this system and strategy, as well as give you specific exercises that only take about 15 minutes a day that are going to help you improve your muscular system, be able to improve this contraction. So at the end of the day, we can have less pain because we're restoring motion. We're able to improve this thing as opposed to dealing with symptoms. And what do I mean by that? Dealing with symptoms like tightness. You can do things like stretch, or you can do things like go get a massage, but you're just dealing with getting rid of this tightness temporarily. Same thing with compensations. You could put an orthotic in your foot. You could not move in certain ways, but again, we're dealing with a symptom. And at the end of the day, if you still have weak muscles, your body's gonna recognize there's instability, and it's gonna lead to this cycle over and over again. So we need to strengthen those muscles. I have that information and that challenge for you. Just check it out down below, and I look forward to seeing you getting started. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to continue to become the best rider you can be for as long as possible, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'm going to continue to put out videos and allowing you to get the most out of your body so you can get the most out of your horse.